Houston. Houston, we have a problem. DJ Apollo has landed. I repeat, DJ Apollo has landed at Hipmix 88.9 WEIU.
Welcome to the Tales of Music and Film podcast. I'm DJ Apollo, and I just want to say welcome back. I am very excited for today's episode, and of course, I got my awesome comrades with me. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
You all know it's me, the smart-talking Aiden.
He's not that smart.
Shut up!
I don't think we even need to introduce ourselves at this point.
At this point, no.
Yeah, you know who these guys. You know who these guys are. You love them. I love having them on the show. They're my great, awesome friends. And today we're not necessarily talking about a deep movie, but we're talking about a very unique action movie that I literally just watched for the very first time today, and we're covering Baby Driver. And guys, where do you think we should start with this one?
The very beginning.
We're gonna start this one from the beginning because there is no better way. Because one of the best thing, like the most important things that the opening scene of a film needs to do is establish the style and establish all the characters. And the best thing, it establishes everything without uttering a single word of dialogue.
Yeah, like the opening scene for this is that our main character, his code name is Baby, and he's this young. He looks like he's an early 20s male who is a getaway driver for a heist, and he's driving 3 other people to a bank, and they all run inside with their costumes and shotguns and everything. He's just sitting in the car with earbuds in, and the music is like playing over the whole thing. So you really don't hear any natural sound. It's just the music.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy, but that is incorrect on the natural sound.
You hear tons of natural sound.
Do you? I thought it
You
was
hear
just the music.
sirens, you have screaming, shattering glass.
Well, I mean, like towards the end, though, for a good portion, it's just him, dancing in his car.
Well, here's the thing. We still have that but still, anyway, the biggest thing that I want to talk about is like how this establishes Baby's character. So we pull up thinking everyone in this car is an absolute awesome bank robber and whatnot. So like Baby's the cold stoic getaway driver. He keeps a stone cold face. Everyone else gets out. They go into the bank to get the job done, and he's just waiting. But then the moment they get in the bank and closes and the beat drops, he is just having fun, sitting in the car, singing his little song. And for those who haven't seen the song, we got some good old-fashioned bell bottoms.
Yeah, I love the music choices for this
Yep.
movie. I loved it. It was amazing.
Yep.
Amazing soundtrack.
Oh, yes. Like, then we're going to get into the real thing that makes this style better. So once everyone comes out, their cops are on the way. It's time to get moving, and Baby starts the opening car chase. Then there's the biggest unique thing this film does, timing everything in the film to the beat of the music. The tire skirts, lane shifts, traffic lights shifting, crashes, tire squeals. Everything is to the beat of the song. And that it really gets you in this moment, like you're following the music, you're following the action, you're following everything with perfect clarity. And it's just amazingly done.
That pretty much sums up the opening.
Yeah, it really sums it up.
At least with the sound design, that's the basic sound. Like, it's the unique thing of this entire film. Like, I did a lot of looking into this film before, like after it came out, like how behind the scenes things went, and evidently, the director Edgar Wright, he had a whole idea of songs that he wanted in this film before he even wrote the first draft of the script. He knew his song list as to what he wanted. And that's what mattered. So it was very unique.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you right now, this movie, I think this film holds the best chase sequences ever put to screen.
Oh, without a doubt.
Dude, you can go ahead if you want to. Like, what's your take on the chases?
For me, like, it's always just like I always had a fun dream as a child, just playing one of my favorite video games called Stuntman Ignition. I always had a dream as a kid to be a stunt driver. Then I got behind the wheel of a car. I'm just like, oh no way, I can do that. But
Right.
seeing this, the amount of precision that goes into doing these stunts is astronomical. And then how much you have to set up beforehand. Like the idea of how you do this, especially when you do it completely practically the way they did. Like some movies, unfortunately, will green screen it and just try to make it a bit safer and easier to film. Edgar
You
Wright,
can kind of understand
yeah,
that.
you can understand because like doing chase scenes are very tricky, especially because stunt driving, the way it's done in this film, is incredibly precise. Like recall in the opening scene when he does the scene when he fishtails the car to switch its angle and then launches back.
Yeah, it's insane.
That is insanely precise, and it is like that is some of the hardest stunt driving you can do. So you got to give it up to how much these drivers know a car and are able to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's magnificent. I just want to know how they are able to capture so many of like those tracking shots
Like,
with the car.
well, I know because like I say, I do a lot of looking into behind the scenes stuff and how stuff like this is done. They have what's called the tracking car. An entire car is set up. They're going alongside them. It is fully decked out to have cameras mounted everywhere on this sucker. So that's how they're able to do like exterior shots of the driving. Then they naturally, when they have close-ups, they reset it to have cameras on the car itself that they're in.
Yeah.
Well, and to show how amazing of a movie this is, it has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh god! And here's the thing: for an action movie, that's impressive.
Oh yeah.
Like,
If you guys want, I've got a review pulled up here.
who reviewed it? And give us a shout out to him.
Shout out to AJ Taylor with his 5-star review of this movie.
All right, give it to us.
All right, so he says Edgar Wright delivered the best work of his career to date with 2017's Baby Driver, an original film centered around a driver named Baby who acts as the getaway car for a group of thieves led by the mastermind of operations in Doc, played by Kevin Spacey. This film is a thrill ride like no other, as the music acts as the pulse of the story, edited in a way that paces the film to perfection, with every beat drop and lyrics syncing up with the actions of characters, but also complemented by masterful direction from Wright specifically in this amazing action set piece when Baby is driving.
Yeah, that is 100% like true on everything. Great wording for that review. So what's his name?
AJ Taylor.
AJ Taylor.
If, shout out to you. Amazing review, my friend.
Yeah. But,
And thank you for giving credit to the director Edgar Wright and how incredibly precise he was.
Now, I need your help, guys. What else has this man directed?
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Which is also incredible.
Yeah, give it some more of his film. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz,
Last Night in Soho.
Yeah.
The World's End.
Yeah, he's done
Sing 2. Ant-Man.
That's right. That's where I heard his name before.
Yeah.
His name was sounded so familiar. Like, wait a minute. What else has this man directed? That's
also
where I've heard
Sing. The first
Yeah.
Sing.
The-
Which,
yeah.
those are very good.
Yeah. So yeah, but Edgar Wright has a very diverse film repertoire, and it's just absolutely amazing. But this has got to be my favorite of his works.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like I went into this not thinking. I thought it was just gonna be a stereotypical like summer action movie, but dude, I was proved wrong within the first like 10 minutes.
Yeah, just how good that film is, and especially like with its pacing sequence. Like, so you have that first car chase, then you have the scene after the title drops, when Baby's going to get coffee, and it's put up to the Harlem Shuffle, I believe was the name of the song. Mm-hmm. And it's just still synced perfectly. And also, when you notice in the background, it has the lyrics everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's still having the thing where points in the background are syncing with the music. And it's just absolutely amazing. And it's just such a unique style that really, like I always say this with music, the best thing music can give is a pulse. And the way Robert Eggers edits this film, he puts that into the movie itself, that pulse.
Yeah, 100%. And like, dude, I gotta be honest, some of my favorite scenes in this is just our main guy walking down the street with the earbuds in, just like doing these little like dance moves, walking down the street without a care in the world. Because like, if I could listen to music like all day long, that's what I would be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta be honest though, Baby is like one of the dude. He was a very unique like male lead to me. Like, I loved him throughout this entire thing because like, I related to him so much on so many things because he has a disability like I do, and I use music a lot of the same way he does. Like, anytime I drive, I'm always listening to something.
Oh,
know?
yeah, like...
It always helps set the mood for me.
Yeah, that's the best thing about music, man. That's why half your podcast is on music.
Yeah, exactly. And I related to him so much on how he doesn't like. It depends. Like sometimes he isn't in a talking mood sometimes, and he's really quiet. But people think he isn't listening, but he hears everything, you know. And
Yep.
and I relate to that too because there's a lot of times I may not look like I'm listening to stuff, but I am, you know.
Yeah, but it's a great film. Great film, and great way of portraying the main character.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to lead into some of the other casting. So I think first let's address a bit of the elephant in the room, Kevin Spacey as Doc. So this came out just, I believe, a few months prior to the whole Kevin Spacey debacle that happened in 2018.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. While after what happened, I do not condone anything I cannot hold any respect for Kevin Spacey. But one thing I always say I can do, I can separate the actor from the character. And he gives a phenomenal performance in this film.
Yeah, because, like, here's the thing, though. Like, for a while, I thought he was kind of like the bad guy of this movie, but really that wasn't necessarily the case. Especially when we got to, like, the second half. Like, he literally helps, like, Baby get away.
Well, it's not really the second half. It's more like just the very, very end. But because throughout the whole film, it's just like, of course he's hard and whatnot because he is an established criminal. He runs an empire series of bank robberies and whatnot. So that's not something for a nice, oh, go lucky jolly man.
Yeah.
No, but it is the fact that, like, he to a degree cared about Baby and whatnot. Because, like I said, he was just like, he was like his lucky charm, and he really said it was a good kid. He kept using him because he was the best driver he has ever seen.
Yeah, and dude, one of my favorite scenes in this is like, there's a scene where he's chatting with. The actor. There was an actor in this who played Shane in The Walking Dead.
John Bernthal.
Yeah, there's
John
a scene.
Bernthal.
Yeah, there's a scene where Kevin Spacey's character is talking to him, like, "Why did you hire him? You know, like he's not like the rest of us." And like, Spacey's character is like drawing on a chalkboard the schematic for the next heist and doing that. And while he's drawing it, he's going off like this guy did all these things.
Oh no,
when
that was Bats in the later scene with Jamie Foxx.
Oh.
John Bernthal was more complaining just like how this kid is different compared to everyone. Like he's ignoring everyone. He has his headphones and he's like kind of idly waiting, just like, can we go home yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love this scene where like he keeps taking his sunglasses away from him and he keeps pulling out a new pair out of his jacket pockets. I thought that was so cool.
Yep. So, Preston, you got anything on, at least, like, we're right now on Kevin Spacey. You got anything?
It was a very surprising role for me to see Kevin Spacey play. Like, that's not what I typically associate him with, but I agree. He did really well with it.
Yep. Then I feel like next leading is to Jamie Foxx. So, honestly, I was surprised they went with Jamie Foxx as at least the main antagonist towards Baby until the very end when he was killed off. I thought when I saw the casting list that John Bernthal was going to be in this. I thought it was going to be him, to be honest.
Yeah, like I thought he was going to play a bigger role in this, but he really didn't.
Because can you pull up the cover of Baby Driver? Because isn't John Bernthal on the cover? Because like if they're on there, they have a much bigger role. Is he there?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
And like during the opening credits, his name's the last main credit you see. So
Yeah, but like I said, like it might just be I'm a bit more personal to John Berthel. Like I love him as Shane. I love him in The Punisher and everything he's part of because he just has that big, just awesome, just intimidating presence. Like Jamie Foxx does do a good job of pulling that off in this one, but so not to discredit him at all. I just gotta say I'm more partial to John Berthel.
But yeah, I gotta be honest though, Jamie Foxx's character in this, like, dude, I had no idea he could play a villain to that level.
Yeah, I know, because like, at least in the stuff I've seen him in, he hasn't been much of an antagonist in a lot of the stuff I've seen him in. But this was just a really interesting and unique villain because it's not only that he's genuinely a terrible and dangerous man, but he also like he justifies it like before every heist he says, oh, that's our money, like they take our money from us. But it's like you can tell he's trying to do it just like hype everyone up, or it could be to hype himself up, but he takes pleasure in what he does.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like in the guy shows zero remorse whatsoever throughout the entire thing. Like he guns down anybody without a care in the world, you know, like whoever gets in his way. And dude, I gotta be honest though, like, so we're not exactly covering the story, so we can skip around, right?
Oh yeah, we're skipping around.
Yeah,
a lot.
dude, when Baby got him killed at the end, when he impaled him, like
that was nuts.
like they're all yelling at him to go. He literally bashes Baby in the head with the stock of his shotgun, breaks his glasses. Baby gives him this look. He floors it right in front of the truck in front of them, and a pipe goes through Jamie.
That
through the windshield.
That was brutal.
I had no idea the film was going to go like that route. You see, like I was expecting this thing to end with the heist going south and they all get captured and sent to jail. I had no idea Baby was going to straight up do something like that.
Baby,
you know?
basically completely single-handedly dismantling this robbery gang.
Yeah.
Basically just doing all of that because by the end of this, the entire gang is dead and he goes to prison.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest though, man, I did not like the ending to this movie. I didn't like it.
What do you mean? Like, why didn't you like it?
either.
Well, because like the whole thing is like, okay, after all the BS he went through the entire thing, only to end up going to jail.
Well-
Like, okay, look, he was the getaway driver. I get that, but he wasn't really, you know,
Well, no, but-
given a choice here.
Yeah, but
you know, like,
the whole thing is that even then, your actions still have consequences. Like you can, like it was a bit of a style choice, but it's just like you can be good at heart, but even then, your actions are gonna have consequences. Because here's the thing: they even like they say during all the court hearings and whatnot, in the testimonies, that he was actively trying to keep people safe during the robberies. So like he could have gotten a lot worse. Because remember, he gets less than 2 years in prison for this.
right?
I get that, but I'm still with Christian on this one. I feel like I wanted to see him.
Look, here's the thing. It's a classic thing of just going with like the realistic ending. Like I'm not gonna try and persuade you because I get it. It's your taste, but I personally really like the idea of the ending because like it's another thing that just kind of goes against the trend. Like Edgar Wright does a lot in this film.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest though, I really loved the writing of the romance between him and what was the girl's name in this?
Deborah, played by Lily James.
Yeah, like dude, I loved, dude, the minute she first walked out at the diner to him to ask what he wanted to eat and everything, it's just like her first sentence was just like, yeah, there's chemistry. You know what I mean? It's just
Well, it's just like the two actors, Lily James and Ansel Elgort, I believe I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm not. But the two of them just had amazing chemistry in this film.
And it's just like I loved how like she started talking about like music and being on the road and everything, and then like Baby is just in awe, you know,
Well, just because like it's the dream he wants. Because here's the thing, he definitely has a very much a love for like 50s and whatnot, just like getting on the road and just letting the music play and just seeing where the road will take you.
Yeah, and, like, dude,
they literally
that's
show know that in the end credits when he has his little fantasy, seeing Deborah when he gets out of prison.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't hurt him for that. Like it's a very sweet little character trait of him.
But see, I wish the film ended with that actually happening.
Yeah, well, here's also the thing you got to think of with this, because think about this: if everything went down and he still got away, he would still be a criminal on the run, and they know who he is at this point. So, but with this, when he gets out, he'll finally have that fantasy where he can do it freely.
Yeah, and like Deborah sends him mail confirming that she's waiting for him to get out. So I mean, like, you know, and like you said, it's only a couple of years, I think.
It's less than 2 years he got for prison.
So that's not bad though. I mean, like, dude,
Like I
that's
said, considering he was a part of a serial bank robbing crew, and they stole millions of dollars that they're not getting back.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was just like, but they managed to, but because like the testifies for his good-natured character, he gets a lesser sentence. But it's just like he still is guilty of this.
Yeah, all right, yeah, fair enough though. But like, holy cow, dude! Another performance in this that I was completely blown away by was the guy from Mad Men,
John Hamm.
Yeah, dude, holy cow! The way he was super chill, right, throughout a good portion of this. He flicks a switch, dude goes straight Jeffrey Dahmer, just pure psycho.
Yep.
Like instantaneously.
Because you just tell like the simple thing that he cared about in the world was having money and his wife, Darling, played by. Oh God, I can't even say that. Someone else want to try?
Yeah. Does someone want to try to
Preston?
Yeah,
go for it.
Does someone want
We apologize if you're listening to this. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Darling, Isa Gonzalez.
Isa Gonzalez.
Give it up to Preston.
Yeah, give it up to Preston. Yeah, thank you, man. You just single-handedly saved us. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've had to pause my podcast and pull up Google Translator because there's names like, I'm like, how do you say this? You know, happens all the time though.
Yep.
But like, man, I'm telling you, his performance in this was so crazy. I had no idea he got big movie roles like this. Like, I've only seen him in Mad Men and the new Top Gun movie.
That's also one of my favorites. I saw him in. He was in the comedy Tag.
Oh, I didn't see that, but
that's gonna be a fun one. But like, I love that movie, and he was genuinely really good in that. But back to like his performance, I kind of want to just talk about his character. Like, it is such an interesting, like, you can tell he's like an older version of Baby who is in this, who's been staying in this world. Like, it's very much why he was the final antagonist. He's the mirror of Baby of what he'll become if he stays here.
Yeah.
Because, like, he said he started off just being a kid like Baby who boosted cars, driving around, listening to killer tracks. Like, they bond over their love of Queen's Brighton Rock.
I loved that scene, by the way, when they're listening to the music together with the earbuds. I'm just like, that is so me.
Yeah, no, but that was why I liked it when, like, the reason why he snapped was because he lost his wife. Mm-hmm. And imagine, like, just a little, like, Baby would probably still do a lot if Deborah got hurt, but imagine if he had been through as much as what Buddy and Darling had gone through. He would go just as far, like, based on what we see in this movie. Like, he was willing to kill Bats. He turned to Doc for help, and then in the end was willing to kill Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because Deborah was in danger. Like, that is why I think it was I was not expecting it when I saw this, when I was watching this film. I thought it was going to be, going around thinking it was going to be a standard action flick that is going to end with Bats as the antagonist.
Yeah.
But then it was, because Buddy, he seems to be someone who genuinely cares. He sees Baby, he's just a kid. He's in this world. He's killer at his job. But then it just turns out, oh no, oh my God. Because, like, he goes from 0 to 50 to 100 real fast.
Yeah, you could say that again. And also another little trait about him, about Baby, that I thought was really cool is how, like, he records conversations that the other guys are having before the heist, and he turns them into music. I feel like that's also a unique thing into his character, is that he's a person, like, I do this a bit too, to an extent. He mimics. Like,
when he uses like when that scene when he's with his foster father and he's scrolling through channels and whatnot, how he says so many of the quotes that he sees, he takes lines from other people and he speaks them right back to them. And then and that shows in his music. Like, he doesn't really make the most original stuff. He makes mixes based on just things he records from his little recorder. And it's a nice little character trait.
I thought that was an extremely unique thing, and dude, I loved how it was cassette tapes. I don't know why, but I have a huge thing for tapes.
You're just very analog.
Yeah, I'm very analog. You could definitely say that again. Preston, what did you think about it with the tapes?
I honestly didn't put too much thought into that part. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, I'm not going to lie. So I'm having trouble recalling the part you're talking about.
How about this then? Why don't you lead us into our next talking point? So we've gotten some characters. What else do you think we should cover in this?
A lot of the action scenes with the cars really reminded me of the movie Rat Race. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie.
I have not seen that one before.
It's a really, really good movie, and I think we should definitely watch that at some point.
Okay.
But it's a comedy, but it's also got a lot of really serious stuff in it. Mm-hmm. And it's like just how dramatic some of the chase scenes were just reminded me of the effects of that movie to the point it was almost comical, but yet wasn't at the same time.
Okay, I just thought of something that we should talk about with this one since we've covered music a lot. What was your favorite scene based on the song that was playing over it? Christian, go.
For me, it was the opening. One of my favorite moments with Baby is when he's sitting in the red car at the beginning, and on the tape, you hear the guy. It sounded like, "Now, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you about
the fabulous, most groovy bell bottoms."
Yeah, he's
then
like,
kick it.
Yeah, and then, I love that part. So I don't know why just him just like
mouthing the words.
Like that's me when I'm listening to music. I do that all the time. I love that part. So what about you guys?
Preston?
I also have to go with the opening.
Yeah, I can get that. Though my personal favorite is, funny enough, it's not one of the car chases. It's the foot chase after he kills Bats, playing Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Dude, that whole chase scene was insane. Like, one of my favorite parts in that whole chase sequence is when he tries to get into different clothes at that clothing store in the mall.
Yeah, but just here's the thing, Hocus Pocus is one of my personal favorite songs. Like, you know how we have that scene where Buddy and Baby are talking about their killer tracks, the one that just really gets your blood pumping?
Yeah.
That's Hocus Pocus for me. Like, I got to be careful where I am when that starts playing when I'm driving, because I'll admit speeding laws go out the window at that point.
Yeah, that's me whenever any AC/DC song comes on.
Oh God, just any AC/DC, sweet Lord, we're never riding in the car with this man.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, in high school, I was kind of like the baby of my hometown. I'd be out on the country roads in my '06 Charger. I'd just be speeding down the road with Shot Down in Flames playing at maximum volume with the windows down, making sharp turns. And
so you were that jerk on the road that I would always get pissed off at.
Yeah, I'm
just the
sorry.
guy who just revs the engine.
I didn't show off.
At you you're gonna get someone killed, you jerk.
Yeah, but it's just and I'm telling you, 5 years later, I'm still wondering how the heck I never got in trouble by the police. How I was never
well, here's
pulled
the thing: I found
over.
urban country areas like that. There aren't that many cops out there.
Yeah, not really.
Have you ever heard AC/DC's song "Big Balls"?
Oh my gosh, dude! Dude, that song though, I gotta be honest with you, I skip that one every time I listen to Dirty Deeds.
Of course you do.
Okay, look, it's not bad, but it's really silly.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the point. It's supposed to be silly.
I know, it doesn't click with me, and that's not the only track. There's some others that I don't. There's literally another song off of Razor's Edge. It's called "Gotcha" by the Balls. And I skipped that one too.
For context for the AC/DC one, it is quite literally talking about dances. Mm-hmm. It is not talking about what you think it's talking about.
And if
get your head out of the gutter.
Yeah, Yeah.
That's where my head's supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm kind of curious though, like regarding the music for like the chase scenes. Why do you think those songs were picked?
Like
Specifically,
Like, I know for the first one with Bell Bottoms, Edgar Wright said in an interview, I can't remember with whom, but he had always just imagined a car chase to Bell Bottoms. And that was basically the idea that conceived the style of Baby Driver, is that he just really wanted to see a car chase put to Bell Bottoms. So that's, I think, where the theory came from. And then it's just like other songs that just he felt would go really well on top of things. Like we had Neat 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 with the chase that he was the second robbery. Then we had Hocus Pocus. And then we had Brighton Rock.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Like, dude, every song that was picked for this, it all fits the movie so perfectly.
I think actually,
I can't imagine anything else playing over that.
Yeah, but I think the final one we really got to talk about, the other real action scene, is the one that's not a car chase, and that's the shootout scene played to Tequila.
Oh, yeah, the scene where they meet up with those guys with the gun crates.
Yeah, to get new arms for the robbery. Just that whole sequence.
Yeah, like,
it's insane.
Yeah,
Preston,
dude, like,
yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up because I have a question. Why did Jamie Foxx's character gun them down? What happened?
He he was eyeing the hardware and he realized these guys were actually dirty cops and he didn't want to risk anything of them flipping on them. So he thought it best to just gun him down right then and there.
Okay, because I got so confused. I thought they were just like, salesmen. I didn't know they were dirty cops.
Yeah, that was the whole point. So Preston, what was your opinion on the Tequila action scene?
I thought that was just completely ingenious. Like, just who thinks to just put like a heist moment like that to Tequila? It fit, but it's just like,
And honestly,
how?
It's like-
I think that one is honestly the most impressive scene of like the matching the beats to the action.
Yes.
Every single gunshot, ricochet, gun jamming, impact, everything hits the beats on the dot.
Yeah, and it's just like, can you imagine though, like the amount of planning and work that must have went into to capture that?
Oh God,
Like,
I cannot even fathom what that was like setting those shots up on set. Like,
There's so much
well,
choreography.
honestly, I think it's not just getting the choreography, but it's the editing, because most of that had to be done in post, because it's not like they're on set just playing Tequila, just like, okay, everyone get ready, playing song,
Yeah, no.
go.
Yeah.
No, it was all about like they had all the camera angles set up and when they had to put the cuts in and just how they had to have them move. Like, because like I think it wouldn't be so hard actually, because I've heard that like a lot of stuntmen, they do use music, at least timing of tempos and whatnot, because like you got to think fighting is like a choreographed dance in a certain sense, because it's all scripted and they have to do it at a certain time, so they do it to beats and whatnot, and they choreograph the action scene to the beat of Tequila, and then they listen to the song and they found it, but most of the work was definitely done in post.
And I love the final scene when they're all driving away in the car. Jamie Foxx's character throws a grenade in the car. The music's still going. You see him going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tequila.
And they acknowledge finally the 5-second timer on a hand grenade.
Yeah, because like he pulls the pin. You hear the and he throws it in. You see him count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom.
Yeah, so here's a bit of context of just why this is driving me nuts. A couple nights ago, Christian and I, we were watching White House Down, and I would always just lose my mind over the fact that the grenade would get pulled, the lever would release, and then 10 seconds would go by and then it would blow up. When
All right.
in reality, when you pull the pin and that lever goes, you have exactly 5 seconds to either get that grenade away from you or make your peace.
Are you ready
dude,
for this hot take?
Shoot.
I don't like at all.
Okay, here's the thing. Like, I don't think it is like a masterclass movie. I just think it's a very fun action movie that I enjoy watching.
I didn't find it fun. The only part that was fun was the very, very end, and I don't like watching movies that don't get interesting till the end.
Okay, that's your take.
Yeah,
that's
I
your
did.
take.
That's your
Yeah,
own
you
take,
guys are
like-
allowed to like it, of
Like,
course.
yeah,
But
here's the thing I always say, like I feel like the two most subjective movies are action flicks and comedies.
yes.
Yeah, for sure. But like White House Down, you could really just say it's Die Hard in the White House.
That's all it is.
Like that's literally what it is.
I like
100%.
Die Hard, though. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
that's the thing. You can like that. Like take say the movie Speed. That's just Die Hard on a bus.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. And to backtrack a minute, like, dude, there are so many scenes that I could bring up to you where they just get grenades completely wrong. Like, there's literally a scene in Die Hard 2, right, where McClane's inside a military plane and the bad guys throw grenades in there.
Yes, and he has enough time to strap himself into the seat and launch the ejection and get into the air. And like a good 30 seconds went by, and I'm just like, sweet Lord, I think that might be the worst one, the worst fender.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
Like I said, with
It's
the grenades, the
crazy.
second that lever goes, you have exactly 5 seconds to make your piece.
Yeah, remember that, 5 seconds.
5 seconds, and don't throw that sucker uphill because it's gonna roll right back to you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, for the tequila scene, what would you guys estimate the budget was for that scene alone?
Oh God,
Who knows?
dude,
I mean,
we know how to make the movies. Here's the thing: everything we make is no budget. We have no idea how to budget a scene like that. So what are you asking?
yeah, like
because
dude,
I asked for an estimate.
yeah, like an estimate.
Yes, I did not exact.
I'm giving it, I'd say about with effects, editing, and we include how much the actors all had to get paid for that scene. I'd wager 5. What was the budget of the film?
Yeah, you want to Google that right
I
quick?
wanna
Yeah,
look
look at
up
the
a
budget.
ridiculous number that would make no sense within the budget of the film.
Yeah, exactly. And and while we're on that subject,
$34 million.
yeah, so the,
34 million was the budget.
yeah, I had the box office pulled up here. This movie was a massive success. $226.9 million.
Woo!
So yeah, it made its money back, and it was released on March 11th. So it was released during the spring. I thought it was summertime, but nope,
Yeah.
it was released during the spring in 2017.
If I had to guess, I'd give it at least a couple $100,000 went into that scene.
Yeah, because I was gonna say five grand for me.
Oh, no way it was that low. No way.
I'd say 150 grand probably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't
'cause
think
here's-
about that.
Yeah, because here's the thing: it's not only like what you have to pay to, because you have to pay the fees to rent out the location they were doing if they were not doing it on, like they were likely doing it on a stage, so we could actually probably cut that at least a warehouse that was owned by whatever company produced this. Like if they had a warehousing, but you have to do the camera equipment that went in, the amount of setups, the firearm, you have to pay everyone who's doing it, the stunt choreographer to do it, every actor on scene. Like there's a lot of money that goes into stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And like, dude, think alone. Like, imagine the amount of cars that were destroyed in this. Like, can you imagine?
Well, here's the thing: you always got to remember, any car that gets destroyed on set is a crash car. So for those who don't know what a crash car is,
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Could you explain that?
yeah, so a crash car is when they make these cars to look like these expensive cars, but it is with the cheapest stuff that they can find. Like all they get is just they get a model of the chassis and frame of the vehicle, but then they use very cheap materials for the exterior. That is probably the engine of an old Chevy in that car. It is a miracle sometimes those things can run when they're a crash car. So like they're never, like if you ever seen a film that has let's go for instance, just one of my favorite car destruction scenes, the opening scene of John Wick Chapter 2 when they completely destroy John's 67 Mustang. Like there is no way in heck they destroyed that car, because that is an expensive and beautiful car. They're not going to destroy it. They remade it as a crash car.
Yeah, and another example I think I would like to describe is all the Christine cars they destroyed when they were filming Christine. Like, there's literally a scene where the bully gang destroy one of them with sledgehammers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they probably made that car crash like a crash car.
Oh yeah, no,
That was
everything.
not a Plymouth. Not at
No,
all.
100%. Like Christine, other than like, was probably shot entirely with crash cars. if I
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
guess.
Like that's a pristine 1957 Plymouth Fury. Like you're not
No,
gonna
dude,
smash that thing. To
That
pieces.
thing could honestly go for several $1 million nowadays.
Yeah, there's not that many of them left in the world, and it's so funny that literally I'm kind of curious if this movie like made any cars famous. You know what I mean?
Like I don't know. Like I wouldn't know if it made anything famous because, like the only like real like popular vehicle is the Mustang that they have on the title of the
Yeah.
on this thing, but even then in the film it wasn't even used that much.
No, it
Because
wasn't,
the thing is about Mustangs and whatnot. While they are really cool and they're very powerful and make a lot of noise, they're not the best for precision driving.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I gotta be honest though. Like this movie was magnificent, and I had an amazing time watching it. I thought it was very well put together. I loved the story so much, and I thought that the way all the characters were written in this was beautiful. Like, did you guys have a favorite character in this?
I honestly have to give it to Buddy. Buddy's my personal favorite character.
And why?
Baby for me.
Like I just like let me get mine on Buddy. Buddy is my favorite just because of like how much there's a lot of subtlety in his character, but just show that like how much of range he has in this film. Like he starts off as just a very caring person who like he seems to be like a bright spot in this dark world that Baby's a part of. But then you see, oh no, he may be nice, but if things start going bad, he becomes an extremely dangerous man.
Yeah, like one of my favorite another favorite scene of mine in this is when him and his wife and Jamie's character and Baby, they're all at that restaurant where Deborah works, and like Jamie is just pushing the buttons, and you're just seeing on his face like that smile is going away very fast, and like that evil side of him is like
It was coming out.
It's coming out like he's like how far can I push these two before the rubber band just snaps.
All right. And Preston Wise Baby, your favorite?
For the same reason that DJ Apollo was saying at the beginning of this podcast, is he's not your typical protagonist that you'd expect. Like, he's got a very distinct personality that isn't a traditional protagonist role, and I just really admire that they took that route with him.
All right.
Yeah, so I think that's going to wrap up for our covering of Baby Driver. I had a really good time covering this movie. I would recommend you check this out. But now I got to ask you guys, what would you rate this movie?
Solid 9 out of 10. Solid 9.
And what about you, Preston?
Probably an 8.5.
Oh yeah, I would give it I would say 8.5 for me. Yeah, it's a fun action movie and you will enjoy it, I think. And I think it really stands out from others with a very unique style and a killer soundtrack on top of that. So I hope you enjoy this recording. I had a fun time with my two friends as well. Oh, and I'm also going to take this moment to announce that we this same time that we will be doing our very first episode of our brand new podcast that will feature my two buddies here, and I would like to have Aiden discuss a little more. I believe you have the title ready on what the show's going to be called.
No, we still don't have the title ready. We're going to brainstorm that first. But mainly this new one is going to be it's going to be the three of us, and we are exclusively the three of us. And we are primarily going to be ripping movies to shreds. So this one we talk about fun movies we enjoy and have a good talk about them. This other one, whoo boy.
Yeah, like we're not the training wheels are off on this one. Like, we're not holding back.
Oh, how we
whatsoever.
joke that I'm the one who's constantly holding back the vulgar words and everything. These two are holding back. This is going to be a very uncensored show. So if you have the kids listening, Do not let them listen to this one.
Yeah, shield those ears.
Yep.
Like stat.
Probably in the description for this episode, we'll put the name of the new podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I will definitely do that. And we are still at the time thinking of a clever name. But just to give you a hint, we're trying to think of a name that kind of stands for something like just pure chaos and like nothing makes sense. Like it's not planned. It's just like crazy.
Yeah, we try
IQ -10.
Like, yeah, IQ -10.
Yeah,
or,
but with the not
something.
planning, we do try and plan these out the best we can. This is not going to be planned out at all.
Yeah, so we're just gonna we're ad-libbing this whole thing and just to see what happens, because I'm kind of curious to see what the three of us will come up with when we're just like on the spot. And so I'm very curious to see what we'll do. But yeah, that wraps it up for today's recording. I wish you good luck with your future. Hope you're having an excellent day, and I hope this recording brought some good vibes into your day. So until next time, this is DJ Apollo with
Aiden
And Preston.
here on the Tales of Music and Film.